Welcome to Gift Wrapping by Elaine. Today I want to show you how to wrap one of those big tins of sweets. I have done a video where we wrap a smaller tin on its side, which is very unusual, but today we're going to do a bigger tin like that. So what do you need? You need approximately 90 centimetres of 90 centimetre wide cellophane, which you can pick up at your local florist. And as well as that, you need a couple of sheets of tissue paper. What I've done is I've overlapped the tissue paper there by about 15 centimetres, but don't bother measuring that. And you will notice in my case that the cellophane here is wider than the tissue, and yet here the tissue paper overlaps the cellophane. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got enough cellophane to wrap your tin with, don't worry about the margins. So put your tin in the middle of your cellophane, and I like to work on the diagonal. So I'm going to bring the points up from the back and the points up from the front. And then I hold the tissue and the cellophane together in the middle of the tin. And all I'm going to do is to bring the cellophane up and in towards my left hand, which is in effect the centre of the tin. Now, don't be tempted to pull the tissue. Guide it, but don't pull it, because it's only one thickness, and sure as eggs are eggs, you will rip it. So when you've gone halfway round, swap your hands. If you can't work with your left hand, turn the tin round and you can do it again with your right hand. And then we're just going to follow the same procedure, pulling the cellophane in. You can guide the tissue, but it will find its own way. I'm just gently lifting it, but it's the cellophane that's actually pulling the tissue in towards the centre. Don't force it, just take it slowly, and you can see it's all coming in very easily without me doing much to it at all. Now, having got all your cellophane in the middle, I take a little piece of curling ribbon, but to be quite honest, you can use whatever sort of ribbon you like for this. You won't actually see this bit when you've finished it. Pull it tightly. I find by wrapping it round twice, I get a little bit more purchase on it, a little bit more grip. And then you can cut that away. And then this is the fun part, where you can arrange your tissue. Depending on what size of tissue sheets you have to start with, you will have more or less cellophane in the middle. And then I've got a little bit of, probably about 1 metre there, of matching ribbon. But of course you can use a nice contrast if you want. I like to use satin ribbon with tissue. I just think it looks more expensive. And we've got a rather nice floppy bow there. You can thread some little baubles on in the middle rather than use the bow. Or on this one, I've done a bow, but then I've added some little beads. I've just glued them on before I did the bow. And on this one, I've just used two different ribbons. I've used a wired one, but prior to that I looped on some of this gold and red, and again I just got my glue gun and glued it in strategic places just to get a little bit of shape with the ribbon. So there you go, problem solved, how to wrap your tins of sweets.